Oh, hey guys, really nice day out here, about 70 degrees. Figured it'd be a good day to do some weed eating back in the alley. Right now I'm stuffed. I ate a big turkey sandwich, trying to eat healthy and lose some weight. I'm here at Clarksburg, Harrison County Library. Building's built in about 1975. You can see here, very beautiful day here in Clarksburg. Anyway, the building's built in 1975. Designed by a man named Marcel Brauer. He was born in what's now Hungary, but was then the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And he designed a couple of the UN buildings in Geneva and a large IBM research center in Marseille, France. Kind of a famous architect. Now, prior to then, from about 1930 to 1975, this house back here housed the library. It's called the Waldomore. Waldomore was built by a man named Waldo Goff, who was the father of Nathan Goff, Union General, later Secretary of the Navy in the Hayes administration. Now, his sister lived in the house. I think her name was Mays Goff, and she married a Lowndes. So her brother-in-law became her uncle became governor of Maryland. And her father, the Lowndes family, were bankers. When I was a kid, there was a Lowndes bank in town. I think it's since become a part of Huntington Bank Shares. And next door right here is part of the Goff estate is the Waldo Hotel. It was built in about 1907. We might do a feature on that later. It's been vacant for about 20 years. Now, the thing I'm going to talk about real quick here while I got time is this house. There was a rider on the deed that basically said the house could only be used as a library. Now you get into, the 60s, 70s, and it's pretty clear the house, although it's a large house, it currently houses genealogical records and the writings of Gray Baker. He was world-known UFO writer, conspiracy theorist, whatever. His writings are in this house upstairs. On the first floor, it's got a little, like a ballroom with they have fine arts concerts in there. The house was not big enough to be a public library, so they built this thing over here, but they wanted it where the house was. They wanted to demolish this thing, built in 1839, put this library, which is a well-designed, nice library. They wanted to put it on the spot where the house stood, and there's a lawsuit, I guess. I'm not sure exactly what argument they used, but the house was not torn down. They put the library beside the house. And then the house sat there, and a few years ago, water was leaking in. They hadn't maintained the house. Water was leaking in on the roof, from the roof, and you go in there and there'd be blue tarps up over the shelves to protect the old genealogical records. And story I heard is somehow man used in Whitehall over there, Gene Papa, finagled his way into some sort of partial control of the property, and he was going to sue for full control, arguing that since the house was leaking and books were at risk and possibly going to have to be moved out of there, it was no longer effectively a library. Well, that was kicking the pants to the county and the state, and they finally, or city, and they finally put put a new roof on it, did a bunch of electrical work, probably I think about $800,000 of work. So it should be around for another, I don't know, 50, 100 years, hopefully. But it's really just a shame that they sit and let this thing rot over there with no regard for anything. And it actually takes being embarrassed or potentially embarrassed by one of the arch enemies of the old political establishment to get them to do anything. It's really, well, like I said, par for the course here in Clarksburg. And while I'm here, I'm going to talk about this real quick, a function of what they call green space. I hear a lot. It's a term that's popped up recently, that we need more green space downtown. And now this is green space, which is by definition in urban planning an expanse of land in a natural or semi-natural state that's open for the enjoyment of the public. You know, some days you come down here and people be playing bocce or, you know, something like that, or just lounging on the grounds. That's green space. But what people refer to as green space is this shit over here in front of the old credit union or BBT, which, like, you know, 5, 10, 15 feet of grass. Buildings aren't built out to the curb, they're offset a little bit, which is actually inappropriate for urban core, but they do it, and then they call it green space. Well, that ain't green space because it ain't open to public enjoyment. I mean, I guess one of our heroin junkies could pass out, collapse down there, and quote unquote enjoy, but ain't nobody gonna be picnicking and walking their dog or playing volleyball or whatever in that land. That ain't green space. I'll holler at you later.